right here, in this part of the scripture. Well, let me do this. If you allow me to put a title on this, then my title would be Keep Your Eyes on Jesus.
Amen.
In this time of the scripture, I want to get through the whole thing. I want to talk about it all because every verse has its significance of what's going on in the moment. But the main key point is keeping your eyes on Jesus.
Right.
So if you would, just walk with me from 26 to 30 so we can get on keeping our eyes on Jesus. Sometimes when God is doing things in this life, when God is moving in our lives, it seems mysterious and it seems to be frightening. Some things he does frighten us. It scares us as natural human beings. Because some of the things he do is not in human capability. For instance, walking on water. At this time, the disciples was on the ship and the winds was brewing. It was a storm in the water. And they looked out and they seen something walking to them. So being natural human beings, they became afraid. They became afraid because they couldn't understand how could something be walking on water, then how could something be walking in this storm in the water. So the first thing that they thought was it was either a spirit or it was something that they became afraid and cried out because they couldn't understand what was happening at that moment. When God is working in our lives and trying to show us things and trying to move us to higher levels, when he's trying to press us through, he does things in our life that's sometimes unexplainable to us in the human realm, but our alone is unexplainable to God. They was terrified, they was afraid, they cried out of fear due to them believing it was a spirit coming towards them. But the word said, but immediately Jesus spoke to them. So right in the moment of their fear, right in the moment of their disbelief, right in the moment of their ups and their downs, right in the moment of them not understanding what was going on, right in the moment of them being lost to what was happening on this earth, right in the middle of them being lost to what was happening, in that present moment, God spoke. And when he spoke, he told them, be not afraid. He told them, don't be afraid because this is me that you see. You might can't explain it. And you might can't understand it. And you might don't really know what's happening. You might really don't feel it. He said, but be not afraid because this is me that you see. This is me working. This is me doing the unnatural in the natural. And in the moment of him speaking to them, right here in 28, Peter decided to take a leap of faith. We're getting to keeping our eyes on Jesus. In 28, Peter decided to take a leap of faith. Peter decided to say, well, if this is you, Lord, if this is your work, if you moving in this storm, if you right in the midst of this storm, walking on water right in front of it, if this is you, then command me to come to you. Peter said to him, if this is you, then allow me to come to you. If this is really you, Jesus, in my storm right now, while we in the middle of this storm, being afraid, if this really you, then allow me to come to you. Sometimes, mid-time, right in the middle of the storm, right in the middle of that storm, we need to find a way to get to Jesus. Right in the middle of that storm, right while we living and walking, while the winds are blowing, while the rain coming, right in the middle of your storm, you need to, don't worry about being afraid. Look and say, Jesus, if you right here, then allow me to come to you. If Jesus, if it's you that's coming toward me, Jesus, if it's you that I'm living for, Jesus, if it's you that I'm looking for, then allow me to come to you. Peter took a step of faith. Peter said, I don't know what it is. We think it's a ghost. They said it's a ghost, but you said it's Jesus. So Lord, if it's you, then allow me to come. Jesus said, right here in verse 29, Jesus said, come. So Peter, being who he is, he's decided to step off the boat. And to say, and Peter got out of the boat, and he walked on water and came towards Jesus. Once, even in our storms, even in our storms, y'all, if we call on him, he'll let us come. Even in the midst of our storms, y'all, if we believe in him, he'll let us come. Even in the middle of our storms, y'all, if we trust him, he'll let us come. We just have to step out the boat. We have to step out on faith. We got to believe whether we see him or not. He said who he is. He said, I am who I am. So if we believe he is who he is, then on that belief, we ought to step out the boat. So Peter decided to step out the boat at this time. Peter decided to put away his fear of, is this a ghost? Because I'm not worried about this storm no more. I'm not worried about if this is a ghost no more, because now this thing has told me he's my Lord. So if he's my Lord, then my Lord will allow me to do something unnatural in the natural. If this is my Lord, I can do something impossible I can do something possible in an impossible situation. So Peter said, I know my human self can't walk on water. I know my human self need to be on this boat in this storm. In fact, we need to be out the water on the boat too. We need to get out this boat, get out this storm before this thing flips. In the natural, it was impossible for Peter to step out that boat and walk on water. But Peter said, I'm not worried about what's happening in this natural, because if you are who you say you are, then we are serving an unnatural God. Peter decided to step out the boat on the fact that he knew that he was in the presence of something unnatural. He was in the presence of something that had more power than he did. He was in the presence of something that had more power than that storm that was brewing. He was in the presence of someone who had the power over everything. So he said, if you are who you say you are, then allow me to come. Jesus said, come. So he came, and he was walking on water. He was doing the impossible in a possible situation. He was doing something that should be considered impossible for a human being in all this body mass that we carry in the water that cannot allow our mass to stay on top of water. He was doing something impossible. But because of who he was with and because of who he called on, it became possible. Because of who he believed in and because who he served, it became possible. It was impossible. It was an impossible situation for man to be on water. It was impossible for man to step out on the sea in the middle of a storm. But because who he was serving, he made it a possible situation.
Come on now.
I'm trying to stick to my notes. My notes say.
That's all right.
My notes say we have to keep. My notes say sometimes seeing God work is terrifying. Because because while he was walking on water, they was terrified. They couldn't understand at first of who and how can anybody be in the. First of all, they were trying to understand why they was even in the storm. And then they were trying to figure out why is something walking in this storm. If I was on that boat, I would have been scared too. If I was on that boat, I would have been Peter. I ain't trying to get out there. Lord, if it's you, come on with us.
I know that's right.
Peter decided to ask him. My notes say, sometimes seeing God work is terrifying. But because we are seeing God work, and although it might be terrifying, it might be scary, his power sometimes can scare us because he can do things impossible.
Yeah.
When we knew it was no way possible that should have happened. But it happened anyway. So sometimes when he's working, it's terrifying. But my notes say, but that is what, but that will allow you. When we see the power of God working, when we see God really moving in our lives, instead of being afraid or instead of straying from it, that will allow us to do the unthinkable. Amen. When we see that power moving, instead of being afraid, go to it because it allowed us to do the unthinkable. It allowed us to do the things that we thought we couldn't do. It allowed us to understand things we thought we couldn't understand. It put us in situations that was a losing situation, and all of a sudden it turns into a winning situation. It moved us to a position in life to where we was no longer, that we was kind of low, so now we kind of high because the power of God was moving, and we believed in it, and it allowed us to do the unthinkable. Now that's the good flip on Peter. That's the good side. That he decided to be faithful, believe God for who he is, believe the power of the Lord, believe that Jesus say, I am who I am. So if he said that, then he believed that. Well, he said, well, if you say you our Messiah, then let us come. So that's the flip side. But here go to the other side.
Yeah.
Amen.
If you go to 30, it'll say, but seeing the winds, he became frightened.
Yeah.
Y'all don't like the shout out, I'm joking. It say, but seeing the winds, he became frightened.
Wow.
First of all, you in an impossible situation.
Yes, sir.
Already.
Yes, sir.
First of all, God has already allowed you to do something that nobody else can do at this point. First of all, you already stepped out the boat on water, walking on water towards Jesus in the midst of this storm. So you have already put yourself in an impossible situation, but it is possible at this moment.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
He allowed the winds.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on.
The same storm that was on the boat was on the water when he stepped out, but he allowed the wind of He allowed the wind to terrify him. He allowed the winds to take his mind off Jesus. I'm here to tell you today to keep your eyes on Jesus. Don't worry about the wind. Don't worry about the storm you're going through. Don't worry about the problems in your life. Don't worry. Don't worry. Jesus already commanded you and said, come. Jesus already gave us the opportunity to come to him. He gave us the power. He gave us the strength to come to him. So don't allow the wind, don't allow the storms to take our minds off Jesus. Don't allow the storms around you. Don't allow the people around you. Don't allow the situations around you. Don't allow the ups and downs around you. Don't allow bad talk. Don't allow bad people. Don't let bad thinking. Don't let nothing take you away from I got a reason why we need to not allow these storms to take our mind out of Jesus, because Peter was doing good. He was walking on water. He was doing the impossible. When he became afraid of what was going on around him, and only till he became afraid of what was going on around him and decided to consider more of what was happening than to consider the Lord that was in front of him, then he decided to sin.
Wow.
Y'all gotta catch me. Y'all gotta catch me. I said only when he decided to look and consider the storm that was going on around him and stop considering the God that was in front of him was the only moment he decided in the when he became frightened, he began to sin. The whole time he had his faith, that faith that he had on that ship, when he was on the ship and said, Lord, let me come to you. That same faith allowed him to step out of the boat. That same faith allowed him to walk on water. But the moment he lost his faith and decided to worry about what was going on around him and not worry about the God he was going to, he started to sink. The moment he stopped worrying about the God that told him to come to me. See, Jesus ain't telling him, now don't come out here because it's a storm out here and you can't do it. Jesus ain't telling him, now there's too much going on in this water. I don't need you out here with me. Now, Jesus knew it was a storm in that water. Jesus knew it was impossible for people to be out there, but Jesus told him to come anyway. He told him to come to me anyway. And Peter had the authority to walk on water in the midst of his storm.
That's good.
But then he allowed his storms to terrify him. And when he allowed his storms to terrify him, the Bible says he began to sink. He began to go underwater. That same storm that he had faith to step out on was about to kill him. That same storm that he had faith enough to get out in was about to take control over him because he became afraid of the storm and stopped considering the God that controlled. He became more afraid of the storm than the God who controlled the storm. He became more afraid of the problem that was in front of him than the God who was standing that he was going to that controlled the problem. He began to sink. And then it say, he cried out, Lord, save me. I'm about done mid-time. He cried out, Lord, save me. Jesus already looking at him sink. You don't think Jesus knew he was going down? Jesus was standing there looking at him, walk to him. And then Jesus seen him look at the wind and was like, oh, that's a big one. And Jesus saw him go down and Jesus was standing there. And Peter had to cry out to him, Lord, save me. Because at this moment, in my storms, I stepped out on faith in my storm and now I'm about to drown in my storm. So even when we step out in this impossible moment, we need to keep considering the fact that Jesus saves us. We need to stay mindful that God will still be there even when we sinking. We need to remember even when we was doing good, when we walked out on faith, we had all the faith in the world. We had all the belief in the world. We were trusting and loved everything and we stepped out on faith. And then when we got out there, we became a little afraid. We became a little skeptical and then we started going down a little bit. But still in that moment, Jesus was still standing right there, close enough to, he cried out, Lord, save me. 31 says immediately, Jesus stretched out his hand and took hold of him and said to him, you a little faith, why did you doubt? Why did you even doubt me? You stepped out on my faith. You stepped out on my word. You stepped out in my power. You stepped out with my strength. So how you allow a storm? How did you allow this storm? Jesus really asked him, do you think this storm's stronger than me? Do you think what you going through can conquer me? Do you believe the pain and the problems and everything you going through is more mighty and more strong calm down the storm? Or can I not change this situation? Or can I not redo everything? Or can I not tell this sea to be still? Can I not tell the problems in your life to be still? Can I not tell what you're going through to get away from you? Can I not tell you what you're going through at this moment to stay away? Can I not? Jesus asked him, you a little faith. You had the faith, but it was little. You believed me, but you didn't trust me. You believed I was who I was, but you didn't trust that I can get you all the way here. You believed that I was the Lord, but you didn't think I was going to get you all the way to the finish line. Jesus said you have little faith. You know who I am and you're still sinking. You know who I am and you're still falling. You know who I am and you're still afraid. You know who I am and you're still. Why are you afraid? Why did you allow wind? Why did you allow something that I control to redirect your thinking about who I am? Why do you allow something that I control to
Come on!
He said to him,
Goodness gracious.
why did you doubt? He asked Peter a question. Why did you doubt? Why did you doubt me? But you got to check this. He asked Peter, why you doubt me? After he saved him. Jesus could have let Peter went on down in there and sunk a little bit. And then got him out that mess. Because first of all, you asked to get in this mess. Second of all, you believe me that you can step in this mess. Third of all, when you got in this mess, I told you you had the power to get through this mess. Fourth of all, when you got in this mess, you allowed the mess that you knew you were stepping into distract you from me. The whole purpose was for you to get out this boat was so you can come to me. It wasn't so you can perform a miracle. It was so that you can walk to me. It was so that you can show who I am. It was so that you can be with me. So the reason you got out this boat in this mess was to come to me. So while you was walking to me, how did you allow the mess you knew you was finna get into change your way about me? You knew you was getting into a storm. You knew you was walking. When we joined this Christian faith, we knew this was gonna be straight hell. When we walked into this Christian faith, we knew this was going to be a bunch of mess, turmoil, and all kind of stuff. We're going to have to deal with people and people emotions and people feelings. We got to worry about our own emotions, our own feelings. We knew once we stepped out that boat, we was walking into a storm. Mental. Don't allow the winds around you. Don't allow the storms around you to change your thought about who you walking to. Don't allow what's going on with you to change who you got out that boat for. We decided to rechange our lives. We decided to step out on faith. We decided to change who we were. We decided to be a follower of Christ. We decided to come to our Lord. Don't allow the storms that we knew we was already going into reshape our thinking or reshape our mind on who our Christ is. We already know that he can control these storms. We already know that every problem in this life he can change it. Every problem in this life he can redo. Every problem in this life he can say, peace be still, and it has to be still. Any problem in this life he can just move it at any moment. It can be a raging storm and he can just walk in and say, move, and that storm is gone. Don't allow the storms around you reshape your thinking on the Christ you're supposed to be going to. We're supposed to be walking to a belief, we're supposed to be walking to a Christ who has all power. We're supposed to be walking to a Christ who defeated evil. We're walking to a Christ who died and rose again. We walking to a Christ who was beaten, who was mistreated, who was lied on, who was dragged, who was and beaten. We walk into a Christ who can control any situation. And he defeated it. He's already won. There was a reason he was able to walk on water because he had already defeated that storm. He had already told season, on that walk. He had already controlled it. We just didn't know the storm was controlled. All right, y'all want me to back it up? Because in verse 32, it says, and when they got into the boat, the wind stopped. When he got on the boat, the wind, he had already had control of that storm. He had already had control. He had already seized that storm. He just needed people to understand that if you won't walk into this mess, then you can't allow the mess around you to take your eyes off of me. This storm is over with. It just still looks like a storm. I already told you to get out your life. It's just still raining a little bit. I already told you to leave you alone. It's just still storming a little bit. The storm has already been over with. When we decided to walk off that boat, he decided to calm those storms already. So don't allow a wind to take our minds off our Jesus. God, we come to you. God, thanking you for the storms, God, that you placed in our lives. Father, I thank you for the storm, God, that you allowed me to step into, God. Because I already understand, God, that you have already conquered that storm, God. And as soon as I get with you, God, the storm is going to stop. God, we already understand, God, that the storms that we're suffering right now in this life, God, is already defeated. God, we understand, God, that you rose, God, on the third day without power. God, we understand, God, that you defeated evil. God, we understand, God, that you already have the ups in this life, God, and that you have already told our lives, God, that peace be still. So although it might still be raining in our lives, God, although the storms might still be effective, strong in our lives, God, although we might still look out and see a lot of rain, we might still look out and see the storm, we might still look out and see that the fact that the storm is still there, God, we understand that that storm has already been defeated, God. And the only thing we have to do to defeat that storm is to keep our eyes on you, God. The only thing we got to do to defeat that storm, God, is keep our minds towards you, God, and lead towards you, God, and keep walking towards you, God, to not look to the left, don't look to the right, even though it might be a hurricane and it might be a tornado right here, God, it might be a tropical storm behind us, it might be a tsunami in front of us, God, but we're not worried about all these things that's going on in front of us, God. We're not worried about all the things that's going on around us, God. We just worried about what's in front of us, and that's you. God, we only considering what's in front of us, God. We only considering who we walking to, God. We only considering, God, who we are headed towards, God, and that's you, God. God, we thank you for our storms, God. God, we thank you, God, that you gave us the strength to even step out in these storms, God. We thank you, God, that you still close enough, God, to when we do fear the storms and we do decide to allow them storms to make us stir away from you, God, that you still close enough, God, to stretch your hand and pull us out, God. We thank you, God, for everything you've done in our lives, Father God. We lift you up, God. We praise your holy name, God.